This is good. But what is best in life?
The open steppe, fleet horse.
You'd think you know Conan the Barbarian, until you realize you don't. Behind the muscles and madness, this film hides some truly bizarre secrets, lost scenes, and choices that almost changed Hollywood history. Here are 12 weird facts you didn't know before about the 1982 movie Conan the Barbarian. Number 12. Conan's sword was displayed over the governor's desk. Reflecting the reverence his character showed for steel, Schwarzenegger retained the swords from the film set. The swords used in Conan the Barbarian reportedly cost $10,000 each and weighed nearly 11 pounds. Schwarzenegger trained with them for 2 hours a day for 3 months in preparation for filming. Apparently, he became quite attached to them in the process. He cherished them a lot, and years later as governor of California, he would proudly display one of the legendary screen-used swords over his gubernatorial desk. While Conan's swords may seem like mere props, they reveal just how deeply he connected to his character. Number 11. Conan's film version resembles another Robert E. Howard character. Although the film draws from several Conan tales, its hero feels strikingly closer to Kull overall. And this makes sense because Kull is a more introspective character in Robert E. Howard's universe. Moreover, since Howard explored Kull more deeply, filmmakers leaned on his complexity to craft a brooding character with weight. Consequently, when they needed a richer origin, they borrowed Kull's hardships, turning slavery into Conan's defining cinematic crucible. This shift helped merge both legacies, while giving Conan a dramatic evolution that never existed in Howard's stories. Also, the antagonist Thulsa Doom came directly from Kull's mythos, reinforcing the movie's deliberate blending of heroic worlds. Ultimately, this creative overlap shaped a film that resembles Kull's universe more strongly than Conan's original literary version. However, Conan's inspiration wasn't entirely his own. This version of the hero carries shadows from another legendary warrior. Number 10. The film was too violent. Milius's original cut shocked producer Dino De Laurentiis because its brutal violence pushed far beyond acceptable limits. As a result, several intense scenes were completely reshot, while others were trimmed heavily to reduce excessive gore. One major change involved Conan's mother's death, which originally played out twice as bloody as the released version. Although some trimmed footage returned in later home video releases, most discarded materials were destroyed and remains permanently lost. And yet, the story's dark intensity wasn't limited to character choices. It was completely on another level. Number 9. Conan's first line is uttered 24 minutes into the film. Despite being the main character, Conan spoke surprisingly little, leaving long stretches of silence throughout the film overall. He finally delivers his first line 24 minutes later.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Answering the Mongol general with an iconic, brutal quote. Originally, Schwarzenegger was planning to narrate his journey, giving him additional dialogue across scenes. However, filmmakers shifted narration to Mako instead, because his voice offered clearer delivery and greater emotional impact. Meanwhile, Conan's silence on screen wasn't the only controversy. The production soon enraged both animal lovers and environmentalists. Number 8. Animal rights activists and environmentalists. The production quickly drew controversy from animal rights activists who questioned the treatment and handling of live creatures extensively. Although the American Humane Association monitored the set, they still reported multiple troubling incidents involving distressed animals. One dog was allegedly kicked, several horses were forcefully tipped over, and Schwarzenegger genuinely punched a camel on screen. Beyond animal issues, the crew also altered Almerimar's protected salt marshes. This provoked environmental protests and escalated public outrage significantly. However, choosing the right actor was a high-stakes decision behind the scenes. Number 7. Others were considered. Producers spent considerable time discussing Conan's casting while securing rights. They carefully examined numerous potential leading actors for consideration. Did you know that they even evaluated Charles Bronson and Sylvester Stallone, among others, searching for someone matching Conan's rugged physical presence? But their decision shifted once they watched Pumping Iron, realizing Schwarzenegger perfectly embodied the warrior described in Howard's stories. This impression matched Roger Ebert's review, a highly influential American film critic, journalist, and screenwriter. He noted that the film's casting felt ideal and authentic to establish character designs. Roger emphasized that Schwarzenegger and Bergman looked exactly like classic artistic depictions, reinforcing the producers' belief that they were the perfect choices. But casting was just the beginning of challenges. Even the desert dogs on set posed a huge threat to the hero. Number 6. The Vicious Dogs. The dogs chasing Conan through the desert were reportedly quite vicious, according to commentary from both Milius and Schwarzenegger. Though it was supposed to be a film buy, Schwarzenegger was literally running for his life during that intense sequence, adding real danger to the scene. Outtakes on home video showed him appearing genuinely terrified while being savagely attacked by those bloodthirsty hounds. If running from savage hounds wasn't enough, Schwarzenegger's preparation demanded months of grueling training to embody Conan. Number 5. 18 months of training. To prepare for the role of Conan, Schwarzenegger underwent an intense training regimen lasting a full 18 months. During this period, he divided his time between physical conditioning, acting exercises, horseback riding, sword handling, and combat training. Additionally, he devoted part of this time to growing his long, flowing hair, which was completely natural throughout the filming. All these preparations clearly paid off, as Conan the Barbarian is now celebrated as one of Schwarzenegger's finest performances. Although his transformation was extreme, the film's visual world drew inspiration from countless sources. Number 4. The film's inspiration. Milius loved Japanese culture and infused Conan the Barbarian with samurai honor and haunting ghost story elements. One major influence was Kwaidan, the classic anthology horror by Masaki Kobayashi. It inspired Milius's visual and narrative choices. The script combined Howard's original Conan stories with later works like DeCamp and Carter's adaptations. Production designer Ron Cobb added visual depth, using Quetzalcoatl, Egyptian symbols, and Celtic alongside Nordic architectural motifs throughout. Yet even with the vision set, finding the perfect director proved a surprisingly difficult quest. Number 3. Ridley Scott turned it down. Finding the right director for Conan the Barbarian took longer than expected, as multiple candidates were considered seriously. Oliver Stone wrote the first draft and hoped to direct, but the producers ultimately did not give him approval. He was later considered for co-directing with special effects expert Joe Alves, yet that plan eventually fell through completely. Impressed by Alien, Stone and the producers approached Ridley Scott to direct, but he politely declined the offer entirely. Then, producer Dino De Laurentiis brought it to John Milius, ultimately securing him as the film's director. However, once filming began, the cast discovered the production held surprises far stranger than any script. Number 2. The cast enjoyed drinking blood. The fake blood on set was a deep crimson concentrate, specifically designed to be mixed carefully with water. However, the extreme cold constantly froze the blood-water mixture, forcing the crew to improvise by replacing water with vodka instead. As a result, the fake blood flowed more reliably during shooting, allowing actors to perform intense fight scenes safely. And in those chaotic scenes, many actors accidentally swallowed the alcoholic blood, often laughing while requesting even more from the effects. And still, all the chaos, risks, and lessons on set led to an unexpected real-world outcome. Number 1. Conan got Schwarzenegger back into professional bodybuilding. Schwarzenegger had officially retired from professional bodybuilding in 1975 after winning that year's prestigious Mr. Olympia competition. However, the intense training for Conan the Barbarian pushed him back into peak physical shape, reigniting his competitive drive. As a result, he decided to return to professional bodybuilding, preparing meticulously for the 1980 Mr. Olympia contest again. Ultimately, he won the 1980 competition, though many in the bodybuilding community questioned whether he truly deserved that victory.